All right. We have some pretty funny stuff going on here. I have the random object I found around my house, which was this almost used roll of toilet paper. And I am trying to figure out different materials that I can remake this toilet paper roll in. So one of the things that I first tried was a paper bag. So just cutting up a paper bag, gluing that together. This is the 2-ply. Very important to communicate. I also made some masking tape toilet paper. And then I also mixed up a paper pulp and utilized that to make a toilet paper roll. And a little later on, I'll also add some paper that I made to add onto this. Now, this is a pretty silly object, but a lot of these techniques you can utilize for many different objects and purposes. So although I'm doing something really silly and super mundane, you still might find these useful for other applications. Okay, so I'm going to talk you through two of these processes. One pretty simple, just working with a paper bag, showing you some different ways of cutting and gluing, and then the other is the tape at the 3-minute mark. So I'm gathering some tools that would be useful: the scissors, X-Acto knife, utility blade, a ruler. I think you have a metal one in your kit. I'm measuring, cutting my paper bag a little bit smaller so it's easier to work with. Drawing a full straight line. I can cut that with the scissors. You can use your utility blade, your X-Acto knife, whatever works for you. If you are using your utility knife, make sure that you keep your hand in front of the blade as opposed to behind the blade when you're cutting, and then walk it along the edge of the ruler. Tearing the edge there so that it gives them more of the effect of the toilet paper. So I'm just using Elmer's glue all and a chip brush, and you can see I have a little scrap sheet of paper underneath where I'm gluing so I can protect my surface. And I like to brush the glue out. I kind of work from the center and work my way out, and that helps it to get a nice smooth adhesion as opposed to getting those glue wrinkly lines. I'm just slowly rolling it up. I have that little extra piece that I'm inserting for that second ply of the toilet paper and brushing that extra glue in so I can wrap that around. You can see I put a little pen inside here. You could use a wooden dowel or something else to kind of really help get that those layers of paper adhered together pretty good. If you needed to, you could clamp it with some popsicle sticks and some paper clips or something like that. So here I'm going to work with masking tape. You could cover a toilet paper roll in saran wrap and just put the masking tape directly over that. But here I'm going to show you how you can make a sheet of masking tape. So that top layer is actually sticky side up. I use those two pieces on the side to anchor that down, and now I'm laying these pieces sticky side up. I had to anchor that first row at the bottom as well to kind of help hold things in place. But once I have a couple anchor points, then I can go ahead and just continue to build up the layers. And then I can decide where I want the second layer to be, if I want it to also go vertical or horizontal. And this is sticky side down. So I'm basically making it so that it's more like a sheet of paper as opposed to masking tape, which is sticky on both sides. Then I can just work with this like it's a normal sheet of paper. I can cut into it with the scissors, X-Acto knife, rotary cutter. And then it will basically be the same procedure. I'm just measuring. I was trying to figure out if I could tear that, but it was too stiff to tear. So I just ended up cutting it. And then I can just use the masking tape to continue to glue pieces together. Not actually glue, but sort of tape and hold them together. So I'm just staying true to using masking tape 100% for this. You probably could, if you wanted to, use some form of glue. Maybe your hot glue would be a little bit better for this. I think Elmer's glue all would work, but you'd have to definitely tape it and clamp it for about a half hour for it to dry. So here I'm putting just 2 little pieces of tape to hold it in the place that I want, and then I'm going to fold that back and put a piece that's actually going to hold it together. I took off those extra temporary pieces of tape. I'm trimming back the excess. This isn't quite as easy to manipulate as a sheet of paper or a paper bag, but you can give it a little bit of more character to it through bending, folding, crumbling, etc.